Couple of things before we get to News Extra. Happy anniversary to Brian and Kendra Feather, celebrating 15 today. Also, this is a Code Green Day for NPPD irrigators. Time now for News Extra, brought to you by Vista Beam Wireless Internet. Here's Kevin Mooney.
And thank you, Dennis. Good morning, everyone. We're going to talk about the first summer celebration of the season. Camp Clarke Days kicks it off this weekend over at Bridgeport, and Darren Emerick is here, and he's with the Lions Club in Bridgeport. You guys have 35 members in the Lions Club over there,
We have a very active club in Bridgeport.
That's great. That's fantastic to have 35 members from Bridgeport in that club. All right, let's talk about Camp Clarke Days. The theme is Crossing the Bridge to Freedom, and it all starts tomorrow night, as a matter of fact, over at the Prairie Winds Community Center, right?
That's our traditional kickoff. They'll be at the Community Center. We'll have a Sloppy Joe feed from 5:30 to 7, and the Boy Scouts will be there, too, with their root beer floats.
Root beer floats. Doesn't get any better than that. Tomorrow night. And how much is that? Is that absolutely free or a little bit of a cost?
It's a little bit. I can't remember how much it is, but it's not very much. I know the floats, I think, are $1.
Oh, everybody can handle that. A buck for a root beer float. Okay, so that's tomorrow night over at the Prairie Winds Community Center. And then Friday, you kind of get things cooking up with the melodrama starts on Friday night, right?
If you've never been to the melodrama, it's one of the best times you'll ever have. It's just a real hoot. And we're doing a couple things different this year. We always have a melodrama on Friday night. We'll have that again this year. And instead of a Saturday night performance, though, we're going to try a Sunday matinee at 2 o'clock. And both of our performances this year have been moved because our school is going through reconstruction. We don't have a stage right now. And so they'll be out at the Morrill County Fairgrounds in the dance hall. That's where both performances will be.
Okay, the Vile Veterinarian and somebody from around this station is going to be the bad guy, huh?
You've never seen a really good villain until you see Nick be a villain.
Nick's a villain, huh? Snidely Whiplash. Huh?
Very much.
Very good. All right, so it should be a lot of fun. I don't know how many people are involved in that play.
There's usually about a dozen people in the play actually acting, and then a lot of support people as well.
Yeah. All right. So the Vile Veterinarian starts on Friday, and anything else going on Friday? Then we get right into the Saturday activities, right?
And Saturday is the really big day.
Yeah, that's a big day when you got a lot of stuff going on.
There's a whole lot of things. There's a barbecue going on in the parking lot at the community center, which will be right adjacent to the beer garden we've had for the last couple of years. There's tons of athletic activities. We got a horseshoe tournament, softball tournament, 3-on-3 basketball tournament. And this year, instead of the mud volleyball, we're going to try a grass volleyball tournament out in the football field with several courts set up, and that way lots of teams, hopefully.
All right, and then you have a breakfast that kicks it off in the morning along with a 5K run?
That's the thing that starts it all. The pancake feed will start at 7 a.m. The run will be at 8. Anybody that participates in the 5K run walk will be able to join the pancake feed for free.
All right, very good. We're going to talk more about some of these things that are going on Saturday over at the Prairie Winds Community Center right after this.
Everyone deserves reliable and affordable high-speed internet. Just think about how much you use it every day. The internet's not a luxury anymore. It's a necessity. And you shouldn't have to wait for the cable companies to bring it to you. Well, thanks to Vista Beam, you won't have to. We're climbing towers, hitting the streets, and working hard to bring a better choice of high-speed internet to those of you who don't feel you have a lot of choices. The future can't wait for cable. Contact Vista Beam for true high-speed internet at vistabeam.com or at 308-635-9434. Vista Beam, delivering the future today.
Darren Emerick has come over from Bridgeport to be with us on News Extra today. We're talking about Camp Clarke Days and the theme, Crossing the Bridge to Freedom. Don't forget the melodrama, the Vile Veterinarian, will be over at the dance hall at the fairgrounds this year on Friday night and a Sunday afternoon, 2 o'clock matinee. They had to move it over there due to the construction over at the school. And then Saturday, all kinds of wonderful things going on over at the Prairie Winds Community Center. One of the big things you guys are doing this year is the barbecue cook-off. And tell us about that, because this is kind of the first year you've done that, right?
It is. First year for the Wild Nebraska Barbecue Beef Cook-Off. This is a brisket-only challenge, so it's real simple. There's a lot of people out there who tell me what great backyard grillers they are, and this is a chance for them to find out for sure. It'll be able to check in Saturday night. Now, the one thing that's really important I want to point out, Kevin, is that the space is limited on this. We do have a deadline today, so anybody who wants to get in on this still can. But the first prize is $1,000 cash and a brand new pellet grill. There's other prizes as well, and we think this thing is going to be a hit. We think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I think it's going to be very competitive.
Yeah, you already had a lot of people register yesterday. Again, today is the registration deadline. You don't have to bring any meat. The brisket is given to you,
It's
right?
provided.
And then spectators and participants in this get a chance to kind of take part in what's going on.
They too, after the judging, will have some meals available, and so you can actually get your hands on some of the barbecue yourself. And the brisket, I should mention too, is being provided by the Morrill County Cattlemen, and that grill is coming from Trail City Supply there in Bridgeport.
And you also have a judge who's I was coming from a long ways away. Kansas City, is that right?
He's not from too far away, but he is a Kansas City Barbecue Society certified judge.
All right, fantastic. So when does that grilling all start?
Well, you'll be able to pick up your brisket at 6 o'clock at night. That way you can do whatever overnight things you want to it. You can start cooking wherever you want Saturday. All the cooking has to be done on site, of course. And the judging will be at 4 p.m. on Saturday.
All right. Plus, you have a lot of good kids' activities in addition to that, all the athletic stuff you mentioned before. And where are the kids' activities at?
Most of the kids' activities are going to be at the main park there, the East Park in town, and that includes the really popular frog, toad, and turtle races. That's a mouthful. But they also do a lot of crafts. They have sidewalk drawings. There's always lots of fun things for the kids to do as well.
All right. Don't forget Camp Clarke Days this weekend. It runs all the way from tomorrow night with the Sloppy Joe feed over at the Prairie Winds Community Center into Sunday with the second showing of the Vile Veterinarian over at the dance hall at the fairgrounds. Thanks, Darren, for coming in.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
You bet.